In the middle of the chaos, she's dancing with glee. The world's falling apart, but she's as wild as can be. Zombies roam the streets, but she don't even care. She's got a bottle in her hand and a wild look in her stare. Oh, Snow Beetle, she's a party queen, baking pies while the world's unseen. She don't mind the danger, she don't care to hide. In the middle of the end, she's living her life wide-eyed. Oh, she's got flour on her fingers and frosting on her face. Zombie limbs are stumbling, but she keeps up the pace. From one house to another, she's never in a rush. A dancing baker in the apocalypse in the perfect hush. Oh, Snow Beetle, she's a party queen, baking pies while the world's unseen. She don't mind the danger, she don't care to hide. In the middle of the end, she's living her life wide-eyed. Oh, in every basement, on every floor, there's a rave, there's a table, and there's always more. Pumpkin pies and cupcakes, cider in the air. Zombies at the door, but Snow Beetle doesn't care. Oh, Snow Beetle, she's a party queen, baking pies while the world's unseen. She don't mind the danger, she don't care to hide. In the middle of the end, she's living her life wide-eyed. Oh, so let the dead arise and the cities burn bright. Snow Beetle's got a pie and she's ready for the night. With every beat of the music and every slice of the pie, she'll party till the end with no need to ask why. Oh, Snow Beetle, she'll party on and on and on, baking pies till the last dawn.
Good evening, Knox Country. I'm Snow Beetle, and you're not. Welcome back to Project Zomboid. Today with the new player's survival guide and prioritizing your survival goals today. That's right, I stream Project Zomboid every day. Welcoming to the stream. Matthew Penny got first. Oh my God. Congratulations. Welcome back. Whalegrin bringing the smiles as always. Glad to see you here. Abba, resident cheerleader, here to drop a like, support, enjoy gameplay while lurking for a short time. I know you're probably very tired, Abba, after a long day. Glad you stopped by to check in. Admiral Rex, welcome back, sir. Hello. Smarty, hi. And Sierra, howdy, howdy. And shaloms all around. Shalom to you, Abba. So yeah, of course, today I was thinking all day about the Great Spiffo Rat Race run and how much I wanted to play it when I got home. But this series is also very important to me, and the more I play Rat Race, the farther away I get from this. So I'm going to try to rotate this one in every once in a while and try to keep up with it, because I do love doing the player's guide. Sharing knowledge from me to you, from you to me. We all learn more, we get better at the game, we survive longer. That's what it's all about. So I didn't want to lose sight of this, so I thought I better bring this back into the fold. So we'll pick up Lady Snow Beetle, burglar, survived 1 day, 12 hours, 22 zombies killed with bare hands. And for the new players, bare hands generally means stomping with your feet, because obviously we're not engaging in fisticuffs, as it were. But stomping is, I guess they couldn't call it bare feet because we have shoes on. So bare hands it is, until we start using more of a weapon regularly instead of stomping on them. But yeah, I thought this episode would be a good time to talk about prioritizing your goals. Let's see where else we left off here. to recap. So we spawned in this trailer, I believe. Might have been this one of these trailers. And we just kind of explored a little bit. I think there was a car over here. I think it was here. So we found a gas can. We walked over here to the gas station, Echo Creek. We're in Echo Creek. This is the Echo Creek gas station, which is a favorite beginner base, especially among new players, in my opinion, because it has almost everything you need, and it's even close to the creek itself. And at this point, we have the basic necessities of survival. We have shelter. We have access to fresh water for now because the water and the power hasn't shut off, and we have some food, pretty good amount of food actually. So really, we have everything basic to start, but to advance any more, we're going to need tools, probably books, and just to start learning how to use the systems to make our life better. However, oh wait, what is Penny saying? New Player's Guide helps us all. We go over the basic details we might have forgotten and brings out the best from the community and sharing our experience in the game. Exactly. It's good stuff, man. So in my opinion, this is where a lot of the frustration begins, especially with new players, because I've seen it time and time again in the subreddit, the Zomboid subreddit. People are like, okay, I have a safe house. What do I do? I don't want to leave because I don't want to die. We've all been there. And yes, we could probably live here for quite a long time. Well, at least a month without really getting our hands dirty. But this is where the game can either get really fun, really interesting and entertaining, or you could just get bored because you don't know what you're supposed to do. So I think it comes down to prioritizing, why are you playing this game? Do you just want to see how long you can survive? Is that your sole objective? Do you want to explore certain areas of the map? Do you want to prove you could do something? Do you want to create a story and lore behind your character? You just want to play because you want to kill zombies? All these are valid reasons to play. But if you don't choose one, you're going to struggle, and you're potentially going to be frustrated because you're going to be all over the place trying to do everything. And the interesting thing about this game, it was in build 41, but even more so in build 42, is you can't do everything, at least not effectively. It takes a long, long time. And if you try to do everything at once, you're always going to be needing something, or I should say lacking something in your survival experience. So it's important to choose. Let me check the chat here. Little girl says, unfortunately, you'll have to go out for necessities like materials, tools, etc. Exactly. So in my opinion, deciding why am I playing this is the key part, because you should prioritize your goals based on that. So for example, we have a house now. If you're a new player, maybe you're not aware of the helicopter event, but the helicopter event means a helicopter is going to arrive at some point. It's going to cause a lot of noise. It's going to attract zombies to wherever you're at if the helicopter sees you. So you have to decide, when that happens, do you want to run? Do you want to hide and wait for it to go away? Do you want to go outside and brave the zombies and fight them while the helicopter's there? So maybe the helicopter event doesn't matter to you. You're like, I'll just deal with it, whatever happens. Or if you're like, I do not want to die from a helicopter event, so I need to prepare. So if the helicopter event is a key moment for you, you're going to play a certain way. If you're like, I don't care about that, I just want to level my skills as fast as possible. Maybe you want to go into town, find a library or bookstore and start getting books so you can level your skills quickly. Maybe you're like, I know winter is coming. I don't want to starve to death. I want to collect all the food I can, so I don't have to worry about it. Maybe you're worried zombies are going to come to the house and you want to board it up and make it as safe as possible. Knock out the stairs and use a sheet rope so that you're safe-ish. These are all ways to play, but if you try to do all of them, it can get overwhelming. You could run out of time and run into trouble. So if you decide how you want to play, why you're playing, and then prioritize your goals around that, it gives you a direction in the game. And the reason you don't get bored is because you're focused on those goals, you're focused on those tasks. And each time you succeed at one of them, it feels like a small win, sometimes a huge win. And that's what makes the game great, in my opinion. Those small wins add up to a lot, and your character feels more real. It feels more immersive because you're accomplishing something specific that is important to you. Admiral says, almost forgot to tell about the semi-secret about this building. Is it the basement, or what's the secret? Matthew Penny, winter is coming. Copyrighted theme music started playing in my head. Vaco plays at work. Hello. How many rats have you passed already on the race? Not many. I need to check. I need to resubmit my stats to find out where I'm at with that. But we're not playing the rat race today, Vaco. We're doing new player survival guide. Bee loves snow? Yes, it does. Chopping trees down is always important. Now, see? I won't give your secret identity away. Beetle of snow. You know nothing, Beetle of snow. Chopping down trees is important to them, so. Vaco plays also like cutting down trees. I hate it. That's sus Beetle of snow. Admiral says from the bathroom or the north bedroom. Open the window and you can get onto the roof. Walk to the east and jump over the other side of the roof. What? Did I even know this? Let's see. I'm not too worried about losing time. I'm still holding on to the tire. I still have the tire pump in my hand. From the bathroom or the north bedroom? We'll go to the north bedroom. Open the window and you can get onto the roof. Walk to the east. Are you sure? So here we'll learn something. If you right click on the ground, choose walk to. See how it's green? The outline's green. That means these tiles are safe to walk on. If you need to jump out of a window onto a roof, you can check if there's a safe tile to jump out. So this is inside under the window. This is outside under the window. So we can see there's a floor tile there. So you know it's safe to step out. But like if you walk out here, that's red. That means you're going to fall down to the first floor. So if you ever need to jump out a window and you want to make sure it's safe, check that first. You're saying walk to the east and jump over the other side of the roof. Talking about over here? Oh, I did not know that. I always thought there was a window over here. I never really thought about it. So let's do that. All right, we're going to learn about walking on roofs safely. First off, you can use E to climb out here, but whenever I'm precariously going out on a roof, I usually right-click on the window and do climb through. And again, you can right-click, do walk to. You see the green tile says this is safe. Now I can manually use WASD to walk around, but if I accidentally step off, it's a good way to break your leg or at least get hurt. So with walk to, if I click on this tile, she walks there. Walk over here. If you do it this way, you're not going to fall off the roof. So this is what Admiral's talking about. I'm assuming we would go here. Well, this is where I'm not sure. So that is the secret of this building. You can build something to install a sheet rope. I see. We'll probably do that at some point just to demonstrate it. I think if I right click here, do walk to, I think she'll automatically climb over. No. Do I have to, how do I hop over this? E? I'm going to hit S so I face the correct way. Actually, I can aim to do that. We'll do like this. It's like instead of turning with the WASD and potentially falling off, you use the aim. And E should put me over the top, I think. Oh God. That was scary. I've never done that before. I didn't even know you could hop over that. That's cool. So Admiral's saying, not only do you have all this open space to put stuff, but we could build like a short fence at the edge here. Probably over here would be safer. And drop, and you can use an escape rope to attach to the little wall or window frame and climb down. We'll do that another time. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Vaco. Admiral knows all the secrets. Vaco says, I hate trees more than cutting them. That's fair. So much room for activities. That's right. Now I have to get back over this without falling to my death. I shouldn't be walking manually. Do as I say, not as I do. Walk here. Aim, so we're facing the right way. Try E again. Oh God, I don't like this at all. Alright. We'll use walk 2 for the rest of the way. Something else of note, if you're in a hurry and you have like a large roof to cover, you can use your shift key or whatever key I'm out for running. If I click on this and then I tap shift, no, it didn't do it. Oh, you have to hold it down maybe. Yeah, so she runs automatically, but she still stops there. So you can traverse safely on even a single tile walkway, as long as you use a walk 2 and your run key, you hold it down, and she'll stop wherever you clicked walk 2. Anyway, that's how I do it. And I guess walk 2 will let her climb automatically through a window, so that's good to know. Okay, so since there are as many ways to prioritize as there are players, I guess I'll just do what I prioritize. So I usually go based on, but what else was I going to say? I was going to say 3 basic ways to prioritize, in my opinion, are first, you can structure everything so that you're doing everything in order and getting specifically what's important to you first and second and third. Or you can do what I do. I usually choose it based on discomfort, but also opportunity. So sometimes you'll be on a mission to do one thing, you see another opportunity come up, and you're like, well, I need to take advantage of this now because it's an option and it's important to me. Or you can do like Drunk on Life and everything is chaos. You just run out into the world and fight and just do random stuff that makes you happy. I would say those are the 3 main ways to play, and usually that chaotic one as number 3. This involves a lot of killing zombies too. So generally, I figure out what are my pain points. What do I hate the most? Well, or what is important to you? What do you want the most? I like running water, so usually plumbing a sink is important to me. We have running water right now until power goes out, but at some point it is going to go out. Sometimes it's the second day, sometimes it's a couple weeks or 3 weeks later. So if you absolutely want to have running water all the time, you need to make it a priority to get the stuff you need to make that happen. SG, what is going on here? This is the new Player's Survival Guide, episode 3 for Build 42. The little girl says, one exception of using the walk to context menu in a one tile wide place is when traversing corners. Oh, that's a good point. Because you could step right over the corner, the inside corner, right? Yeah, I probably should have explained that a little better. So can I demonstrate it here? Not really. Well, let's say this one that we're standing on is solid. But this one here in front of me is empty. At least I think this is what the little girl's talking about. we wouldn't want to try and walk to here because our character could walk right over this empty tile and fall. So you always want to go at right angles. So if this was empty here, where this square is, I would first walk here and then I would walk this way. That's how I would do it. I think that's what you're talking about. Otherwise, you could accidentally go diagonally over an empty tile and fall. Who just redirected to me? I missed it. Because Zomboid for some reason cuts the corner every time the result you fall. Yep, that's what we were talking about. Cool. Admiral says you can use any of the 3 tiles against that wall to climb over or build some wood floor to just walk around the wall. Cool. Admiral's saying we could have jumped over this wall on any 3 of these or build a tile floor out around and walk that way. If we had a sledgehammer, we can knock the wall down. It would make the house look ugly, but that's okay if you don't care. SGY, you've done a lot of renovating, have I? This is a different series. I think I covered everything there. Get some water. I have a bottle, right? Oh, I have a sports bottle. Okay, so another thing. It's 10 p.m., so it doesn't really matter. But we talked about a little bit about the TV. It is on Life and Living. It's tuned in. I just leave it on all the time. You can't turn it off, but I guess if I remember, sometimes seeing the words come up from the TV if I'm in the house, it reminds me to go watch it. But to make the most of this, first of all, the TV is only going to last as long as we have power. And after that, it's only 9 days. So the 17th, it's already July 10th. The 17th is the last day for Life and Living broadcast. So it's the last day we can learn anything from the TV. So if you're prioritizing skills and you want to gain as much skill as you can from the TV, one, make sure you're always at the TV at 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. It varies from day to day, but those are the basic important times. Sometimes one of them is missing. If you go to the wiki, the Zomboid wiki, it shows you like the schedule of all the shows. If you want an exact idea of like when carpentry is and stuff like that, but I never remember that stuff. But if you want to work on leveling carpentry and cooking, what else? I think agriculture, fishing, trapping. I'm probably forgetting one, but those are the ones I could think of. From the regular TV shows, you can just make sure you watch them and get the basic XP, or we can try to find books for carpentry, cooking, because the books give you an XP multiplier so that when you're watching the TV, you can learn it more information faster and gain levels faster. So if you want to get the most out of TV, we got to make sure we're always there when the show is on. And if we can get the books, it's going to make us learn a lot more. So that's one thing we can do. Everybody's saying hello. Seems, where did you guys just come from? Oh, that's right. Who did the redirect? I missed it. Did Abba say somewhere? Can't believe I missed it. Who was it? Reveal yourself. I wish it would show me, but I don't see it on YouTube. So to me, the skills are important, but it might be difficult to get books right now. If we happen to have one of those books, I'll read them. But I think for myself, it's more important to be here for the TV. So we can try to do the book runs between TV shows. I don't even know if there is a book store in Echo Creek. I don't remember. But we could find some books in the houses. I don't think there is, but I never really looked for one. Might have been Tony 2 with redirect. Okay, cool. I was actually looking at Tony 2's stream when I was driving home. Well, wasn't looking, I was listening. I would type comments at a red light. Probably go to sleep though. What food do we have? Are all the lights on? They are now. We have some chicken. Wait a second. Didn't I bring a bunch of food back? Or did I put it in that other house? Oh, here's an example right here. So one of the books we found in an earlier episode was Cooking 1. We haven't read it, so let's go over this. So Cooking 1 is one of the books we found. And the way the skill books work, when we look at the skills, let's look at cooking. Right now, in the cooking category, we have cooking level 1. That's probably from watching a TV show earlier. We gain enough XP to earn level 1. So that cooking book 1 we have, when you're looking at the skill list, you have cooking levels 1 through 10. That's what each square represents. But the cooking book, when it says cooking 1, it doesn't mean it's just for level 1. There are basically 5 of each type of book. So there's cooking 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's 5 books. If we read cooking 1, if you look there, it says gives an XP multiplier for levels 1 through 2 in the skill. So we already have level 1, but if we read this book, when the cooking show comes on in the morning, I think it's in the morning, we will reach level 2 very quickly if we've read this, because we'll get an XP modifier, or I should say multiplier. Right now, if we look at it, it just says XP and it tells you how much. So when we read this book, that will go up with a multiplier. Tony82, welcome in. Sorry I'm late. Got ready to run. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for redirecting. Trust me with your viewers. I truly appreciate the support. Have a great one. And I don't know if you're going to bed or what, but if you are, sleep well. One heck of a gun store, says Penny. It does have a good, oh yeah, no school either. You're right. It does have a huge gun store though. We'll be going there, I'm sure of it. So we're going to read this real quick, even though it's late in the evening, just so I can show you the multipliers. So this is how it works. Right click. And if you look at it right now, you hover over it, it shows 0 of 220 pages read. So we'll right click and do read. You can't do anything else while you're doing this. And you can only read if you have enough light. Since we have electricity, this is easy. But if we didn't have power, as soon as it got too dark, we would have to stop reading. See if I can fast forward this. Right now, see cooking. There's nothing in front of the word cooking. Or is it actually over here? Maybe it's on the right. But we're at page what? Page 4. I think we have to get to page, I don't know if it's page 10 or 10%. But let's fast forward a little bit. Try a little more. All right, 12. Still don't see the chevrons. So let's go to 22 pages. All right, I paused it. So as soon as we hit 22 pages, which is 10% of the entire book, these arrows pop up. And what this means is we now have an XP multiplier for this skill because we've read 10% of the book. And if you hover over the level that we're working on, which is level 2, it shows a multiplier of 0.3. So now if we read the rest of the book, basically for every 10%, we get another 0.3 until you get a total multiplier of 3. Which means that every time we're learning about cooking, whether watching TV or actually physically cooking, whatever XP we earn from those activities, you multiply by 3, you get that much more XP. Good morning, Janet. This house is no joke, says SG. I could live comfortably here. Who's your realtor, Snowfield? I am my own realtor. And Viraj, welcome, welcome. And Jana, welcome in. Glad to see you both here. And those who are joining from Tone 82's redirect, you're probably having to slow way down from the pace of his stream. This series is designed to be a new player's survival guide. So we take everything slow and explain things in detail so new players can learn how to survive their first days and weeks instead of being afraid and hiding inside a safe house. Just to give a little confidence and get their zomboid legs and figure out what they should be doing to not die. Book 1 is for 2 levels only? Yes. It's for the first 2 levels, correct. I don't know who Tone is, but I just woke up. It's only 3 a.m. Oh no. Sorry I woke you up. I'll try to keep it down. But thank you for being here. So we could read this whole thing, but we'll probably be reading late into the evening. So we don't have to read the whole thing right now. You can just put it down and read more later. So we'll do that. But at least we'll get a little bit of extra. We'll put it here. A little bit of extra XP in the morning. Now, I don't know if this is normal settings, vanilla, probably. But see how our character has blood on her clothes? Pause a little bit. Go here to your heart. Why was I going in here? I guess I was just going to look at the picture, which we don't really need. But you can look at your individual clothing items here. Hoodie is bloody. Jeans are bloody. Cowboy hat is dirty. Sneakers are bloody from all the fighting we've been doing. But if you go to sleep with these clothes on, I think it's vanilla. I'm saying I don't know if it's vanilla like default configuration settings, but I think it is. If I'm wrong, correct me, chat. SG says I better pay attention then. This is serious gameplay stuff. You didn't wake me up, my cat did. You know, that's the worst. They're probably gonna go right back to sleep. Luchador says I have new player tip. Make sure your car doors and hood is closed. Absolutely. Very important. But at least in my Great Spiffo Rat Race run, when I've gone to sleep with bloody clothes or bloody skin, then she can wake up from nightmares and she's all tense and stressed out. You lose sleep, your character gets tired sooner, that day. And you can avoid that by getting cleaned up. So we can right click on the sink or the bathtub or the toilet. You hover over white sink, wash. I always do all clothing first. You could wash yourself first, but what happens is all your skin is clean, and then when you go to wash your clothing, sometimes when you're washing your clothing, some of that blood and dirt gets on your skin, so you're dirty again. But if you do your clothes first and then yourself, you'll be squeaky clean for bedtime. Can zombies bite or enter house whilst we sleep? Yes. I don't know if they can bite you while you're sleeping, but you can wake up to them coming at you. That's for sure. So I'm glad you mentioned that, though. We'll talk about making sure you're safe. See, and this is why I like doing these guides, because there's so many things after you play for a while, like many hours, you start to take stuff for granted, and questions like that remind me what a new player doesn't know. I'm not saying you're new, but it reminds me that other players don't know that out of the box. By default, they cannot open doors. Correct. They will hover over you until you wake up. That's what I was thinking. That's a good way to describe it. So when I entered the house, I was already thinking about safety. So this is the way I look at it. If the zombies are going to come up here to get us, they have to come up this staircase. Okay. So I know we got the staircase. They can come up there. So if we close this, we don't have to lock it because we don't have it configured for them to open doors. So they have to break this door down. So if they come out at that door, we close this. Where are you going? They have to break both those doors down. Or they can come through by breaking this window. So this is one layer of protection. So we figure there's two over here, but there's only one here. So if they come at this window, they could get through that easily, relatively easily. Then they have to know where we are. But if we sleep in here and close this door, now we have the window between us and the door. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bako, but it's very unlikely that they're just going to find us and get through both of those before we wake up. So we might hear them start banging if they happen to know that we're in here and they find that window. But I think it's unlikely they'll get through the window, know which room we're in, and come bang on the door instantly. So we're safe to sleep in here. Added level of security, we can close these curtains to make sure they don't see us. Or like if the helicopter shows up right when we wake up, we want the curtains closed so they don't see us. But I don't think the helicopter's due for a while, so we're okay with that. Unless they break it down for you. Wait. They will wait for you behind the door? Very possible, yes. They can break them while you sleep. Yes, they can. In fact, you'll hear them banging on them. And Vaco's added they will not find you unless they saw you before the sleep, and that makes sense to me also. Zombies don't just automatically detect your location and zero in on you. They have to see you and remember where you're at and follow you there. But they could get into the house if maybe they saw you, they wandered over to the house. They don't know where you are, but they just found a random window and start banging on our door and break in while you're sleeping. So it's a good idea to clear the house and know which windows and doors are already broken, if any, before you go to bed. When does helicopter come? I knew you were going to ask me that, and I already forgot. It's kind of random, but there is a certain day. Vaco knows. I forget that stuff. And if we can get the EBS radio frequency, if you can listen to it every day, they'll give you a forecast telling you there's air activity expected. That's usually, I think that's when the helicopter's coming. Wait for you behind the door with flowers. See, I wish they had a bath and shower animation so you can soak in the bath with Mr. Bubbles, some candles and incense. Well, I know there was a mod for Build 41 that you actually get in, take all your clothes off, get in the tub, it fills with water. It looked pretty cool, but I don't know if they've updated that for Build 42. They saw me closing the door, then I sleep. And then when I wake up, they will be, not necessarily, but possibly, yes. They'll at least be banging on the door. Days 6 and 9 between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. That sounds right. So let's get cleaned up so we can go to sleep. And stay asleep, hopefully. And I think it is random if you have nightmares. You can still have nightmares even if you're clean, but this reduces the chances, I'm pretty sure. And if you want added security, we can do this. Let's say you're worried about it, Raj. You can place furniture in front of the door to give you added layer of security. These chairs, see you walk through it, that is not furniture that will protect you. This table, you cannot walk through it, so you can use it. And the way we can use it is use the pickup tool here, put it underneath the table, click it. It drops it to these two pieces. Oh, Midnight Show is on. But the Midnight Show doesn't teach you anything. It's all entertainment, which can be helpful if your character's bored, but we don't need that. Now, when you're placing these, remember, if we're standing like here, we can access this tile, this tile, and this tile. All these around us. But to rebuild this, it breaks it into two pieces. To place furniture, you need to have one of the flat packs, I call these flat packs like the IKEA flat packs, one of them in your inventory, and it can't be equipped, and the rest of them need to be on the floor near where you're going to place it. You have to have one of them in your inventory, though. So it doesn't matter which one. It could be one of two or two of two. So we'll pick one up, and then you use the pickup tool. You choose place, And now you can put this table wherever you want it. And if you drag, you left click, hold it, and drag, you can turn which direction it's facing. Takes a little bit of nuance, but after a little practice, you'll get it. So we can place this right here, and this is just until it's built. You get that like phantom table. So now there's a little extra. I should have closed the door first, but there's a little extra barrier here. I don't think I can close it right now, but I'm not really worried about zombies getting in here. But if you wanted to, you could close the door, put the table there. Then they would have to break the door and break the table to get to you. You will hear if they do, says Vaco. Yep. Project Zomboid says Penny world has ended. Zombies trying to kill you. Are your clothes dirty? Nightmares. Clean clothes, sleep like a baby. That's exactly right. You got it, Penny. Why we need to keep one in the inventory though? That's a good question. I don't know why, but it's just required. And the reason I mention it is because I just remember back when I first started playing, I would have all the pieces, and they would be on the ground and I couldn't place it. And you usually can't hold all of them anyway. I don't know if I think you have to have them on the floor, the other ones, but let's just try it. I'll try to hold them both in my inventory, see if it'll let me do it because I don't remember. But it's really heavy too. I'll be really encumbered. See, extremely overloaded, and my heart's going, so it's hurting me because I'm holding this heavy furniture. But let's see if I can place it. Yeah, it looks like it'll let me do it, but you really usually don't want to be holding all of it because it's so heavy. It just hurts your character. So holding one is the minimum. And again, we'll pick this up again. If we pick one up and say right click it and do equip secondary, it's not in our main inventory. It's in our hand. See it over here on the left in the secondary. If it's like that, it won't work either. You can't see, it's not giving me the option to place it. It's because it's equipped. So if I unequip that to where it's in my main inventory now we can place the furniture just like that. And I just bring this up because this is really frustrating when you're new. It's not intuitive at all. And I've had to explain it to people. And when I was new, had to have it explained to me many times until I figured it out. So that is how it's done. You can also turn by pressing R. I know you can do that with some things. I don't know if it works with this. Let me try. Always had to drag it, but so we go to place it. See, R doesn't work because it doesn't know where I want it. There are some furnitures like the TV and stuff that do that, but when you're placing like a table, you have to hold left click and drag it. But I knew what you were getting at. Piece in inventory disappear if we place the furniture. Yeah, basically you're taking both packs and you're just building the whole table with it. What benefits we get if we clean clothing and body? I think it helps with happiness. The dirtier or bloodier you are, you get a little bit of unhappiness debuff from that, I believe. I think it can also stress you out, especially if you're a smoker. So it's generally a good habit to stay clean. I wouldn't say it's required, but it definitely makes your life better. Once the item is placed, the pieces on the ground in your inventory turn into the item. Yep, exactly. It's late, so let's go to sleep. We have a little bit of a damage Moodle from picking that up too many times. So that's how much damage we took just from handling the heavy furniture. And the reason this is important is, I don't know, we've lost probably about a fifth of our health, and we have muscle strain now. So if you're doing a lot of this and then you encounter zombies and have to fight them, you'll be fighting at reduced health if you get injured and reduced damage because of muscle strain. So try to keep in mind if you're doing a lot of heavy lifting You probably don't want to have to fight anytime soon if you can help it. But yeah, we could close this for a little added. Remember, Shift E, or you can right click and choose from the menu, however you want to do it. Luchador says some beds even break down. Yes. Into 4 pieces, yes. Janice says, depending on your settings, being covered in zombie blood can increase the risk of infection. Oh, geez. If you get cut too? Wow. I've seen Fire Nation die. Wow, that sucks. You want to stay clean, but water is shut off? If that's the case, are you near like a river or creek or a lake? Because you can wash up there. Otherwise, yeah. Sometimes it's a choice. You have to stay dirty until you get a really good source of water. So yeah, that can be a challenge. The other thing to keep in mind when we went to pick up this table, see, I put the tile under it. It says pick up. It says tool needed, none. And there is no there's nothing else under that, like talking about the possibility of it breaking. So anybody can pick up a table without any skills or tools and not worry about breaking it. However, if you go to pick up a bed, this is totally different. You put the pickup tile under that. It shows you need everything that's red. We don't have. So we only have carpentry 1 out of 2. You have to have 2 levels. You have to have either a ball peen, claw, smithing, or stone hammer. And even if you had all that, your chance to break it is 67.5%. So because we don't know what we're doing, some furniture will break if we try to take it apart. So it is a risk. Same with this nightstand or this dresser. But tables are easy. So if you're going to try to take something apart, always look at the numbers to see if it's worth it. Like if you really want this bed, you might want to come back later when your skill is higher and you have the proper tools. And I think there's always going to be a risk it'll break until you reach level 10. And then I think you can pick up anything, but I could be wrong about that. But my character needs to go to sleep. We'll set the alarm because we don't want to miss the show. It starts at 6, so we'll just wake up at like, I don't know, 5:50. That should give us time to break down the table. Matthew says, I'm unsure on this one. Since the bed has 4 parts, do we know if the RNG gods have a stronger chance to break a specific part number? That's a good question. It always seems like the first piece breaks for me, but I've always wondered that too. And then you can have to go around and find that other part, like breaking other beds. It's actually pretty hilarious, as you know. XP required and skills increase as we level up. Yes. In order to get to the next level, it will require more XP. And Penny says, if you're into gambling, you could start the game breaking down beds and play the odds to break the beds and get the parts. Yeah. Good times. Right click on the pillow. Sleep. Comfort good with pillow. Matthew Penny's favorite. Went to bed hungry. We'll have to eat something good in the morning. Pillow is right. Make sure you turn your alarm off by clicking the bell so the zombies don't hear it if they're outside. Now, technically, you probably want to pull a weapon, even though we're pretty, I'm sure we're safe. But if you don't absolutely know, just have your weapon out and aiming in case. Another way to know is have all your doors closed. So if the zombies break something down, you know they're in the house. I mean, if I would have closed them last night, that is. But it's almost 6 a.m., so we're going to go in here and have a seat. And someone was talking on a previous episode about moving the TV into the kitchen. If we had done that, we could watch TV and learn while we're making breakfast. But if we go out of this room, we're not going to get any experience because even though you can kind of hear it, the character needs to be in the same room. At least that's been my experience. Beds are one of the few items of fur. What? You can disassemble without a saw? Furniture you can disassemble without a saw. I guess that's a good point, yeah. I didn't really think about that. So we should be learning cooking. Cooking skills going up. You can see it over your head. And also look here. So we're gaining 0.3 times more experience because we read part of the book. And I think the show might be over. So we didn't learn a lot, but we could have learned more, but we didn't read the whole book. So I never noticed that the pillow disappeared when you sit down. At least it comes back. If we move that chair, the pillow will be gone forever. Keep that in mind. If you like to throw pillows, don't move your furniture. Let's at least cook up this chicken. We didn't have anything in the freezer, right? I don't know how fast the chicken will cook, so I'm going to watch it. Don't you dare. Since this is probably going to be our base for a while, I think I will move the TV in here. Have anything to combine it with? I don't even know. All right, chicken and cereal, chicken and chocolate. I guess we'll just eat the chicken for now. 42 points. Did I have any left over in my bag? Just the chips, okay. I keep it in the bedroom, that way when my alarm goes off at 6 a.m. I'm ready for the morning. That's not a bad idea. I guess the reason I usually put it in the kitchen is so that I can cook while I'm watching or listening. Now this is a piece of furniture that you can use art or is it also maybe? No, you have to drag on this one too. Put it over. I like to see the screen, so we'll put it right there. All right, let's leave it on because that's how I do it. All right, so we watched our TV. Now I want to see the noon show, so I'll set my alarm to make sure I get home in time. I usually give myself about 30 minutes to find a TV. Sometimes I don't make it, so you might want to give yourself more time. Now, the thing to keep in mind here is I'm setting an alarm on my watch that is going off at 11:30. So if I am near zombies and trying to hide, it's going to give away my position. Potentially. Admiral says, not important, but the TV remote control is a thing? Oh, yeah. They added that with Build 42 to where it worked, right? I don't see one here, but if we find one, we'll demonstrate it for sure. They took the remote with them when they left. Okay, so what tools do I have? I think I have a saw and a hammer, if I remember right. Oh, I don't have a saw yet. Okay, I don't have a hammer either. All right, so we have a wrench and 2 ratchets as weapons. That's pretty good. You should put this tire pump away. It's heavy and just weighing us down. Okay, I guess I was thinking of my other run. So to me, the Holy Trinity has always been as far as Zomboid tools. You have to have a saw, a hammer, and a screwdriver. So for me personally, those are my priorities right now because we have a water bottle, we have shelter, we have access to food. So now I want the basic tools so we can get things done. So that's my first priority. And we also have a car already, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to get rid of extra encumbrance that we don't need, and then start hunting for tools. Remotes are not functional. Build 41, right? I think it was they had a mod for it, but I'm glad they added to Build 42 because it's definitely cool. Now, I need to unload some things that are heavy, or not necessarily heavy, unnecessary to carry, like the digital watch, the rubber duck. I'm probably not going to use the gun right away, so I can leave that behind. Which I don't even know if I covered that previously. Indie Stone gives us a gun out of the gate because they wanted us to play with guns as much as possible to test the system. It doesn't mean you have to carry it. You can just save it for later, unless you want to use guns right away. So I'm going to get rid of everything I don't need to take so that we have a lot of room to carry stuff when we go out. And when you start unloading this stuff, typical thing everybody does, they walk up to a cabinet or other storage thing and just start dumping stuff in it. You can do this, but what happens is eventually you fill all your containers and nothing is sorted. So what I recommend, and I don't always follow my own advice, but if you can, every time you unload stuff, put it where it belongs. That way you don't have a big 1 or 2 day task of sorting your inventory because it sucks. And even if it's not the permanent location, just have it all sorted into categories so that you can put it away, know where everything goes. So for now, I don't really have special work areas. So since the TV's electronics, I'll just start putting electronics under there. Take the whisk out, put it somewhere else. Probably here, and we'll start putting kitchen implements. Don't really need a dice in there. Put those on top. Flavor. As far as guns, I want a bigger area for that. So we'll put it in the bedroom in here. That works. It only holds 25, but that'll hold what we have. The magazines in there, the box of ammo, and the pistol. I don't think we're going to use the whistle right away, so we'll put that in the nightstand. We got this pop can full of water because we were desperate at the time. Rubber duck goes in the bathroom, right? I wish you could put the duck on the side of the tub, but it does not let you do that. Double check that, but no, you can put it on the floor next to it though. For bath time fun. What else we got? Tire pump. We'll take that outside when we go. And keep the chips on us. Rags for bandages. I don't really want the pop can with water, so we'll just leave it here. Tracking book. We'll read that at some point. Start storing books in here. You don't need your ID. I just keep it on me because I like to. Some of this stuff we'll probably use, so I'll hold on to all of that. All right, so our bag is down to 1.2 out of 10 encumbrance right here. And our character is down to 7.7 out of 12. So, and that'll get a little bit better when I put this tire pump away because it weighs 2. It's pretty heavy. So we'll go put that in the trunk of the car. Or actually, we can put it in the garage probably. Now see, it's just bad habits. I shouldn't have just walked out the door like that because there could be zombies out here. At least until you've seen, a week or more of no zombies in your area. And even then, you still have to be aware. Be ready going out your door just in case. Because if there had been one there, the window helps in the door. But if it had been a regular door, Could have just as easily been a zombie waiting for me. And this is the part I was talking about, the safe house that I don't like. Right here, you can't see down the stairs unless you go down the stairs. So this is a very dangerous spot if there happens to be zombies on the stairs or even at the bottom of the stairs, because we just can't see it without crossing that threshold. And this can happen in other buildings too, but it's just one thing I don't like about living here, because we always go out this way. Penny says, my advice is to use whatever storage system that makes sense to you. If you were to look for an item, what room or container do you think of first? Absolutely. In fact, my example there is I always put garbage bags under the kitchen sink because that's where I would put them in real life. And I do that too, if especially in multiplayer, which we can't do yet, obviously. But when you do, when it becomes available, like 41, when people come into your safe house, like if I visit a safe house and I need something, I don't know where anything is, but I always go to places I would put stuff, and usually it's not there. But I try to put things so if someone enters my house or my base, it makes sense. So if they're looking for something, they should be able to find it in most cases. Yeah, it's a major blind spot, SG. That's why I don't like it. But I'll show you how to clear it just in case. It's just I hate having to clear it every time I leave the house. That's why I don't like it. We can put a door on the other side, I guess, and build stairs. So that's one way to get around it if you want to make this your forever home and be safer. Or you can build a fence around it at the bottom. That would protect it too. Then you wouldn't have to worry about it. Can you not make an alternate escape by making a sheet rope? Yes, you absolutely could. I leave one of the items in the crate on top of the crate for reference. That's a good point. I've started doing that, and that is a very good recommendation. It helps you remember where stuff is, and also helps other people find it if you're playing multiplayer. Almost a deal breaker. So this is how you clear it. It just sucks having to do it all the time. So just like going through doors, again, personal preference. I like to run through doors. That way, if there's a zombie, I'll bump them and go past it, unless there's a bunch of them. In that case, there's a chance you could trip. But to clear this, I'm going to run down the stairs and break left, the character's left, because I know that's where the stairs turn when you get down there. That way, if there's a zombie on the stairs or at the bottom, I should run right past them. There isn't, so we're fine. But if there had been, that's a pretty good way to clear it. You could also slowly go down like this with your weapon ready to fight. And as soon as you break it, then you can see. You do it that way. Whichever you find more appealing and safer in your opinion. I mean, technically, if you did this, the only time they would get you is if they're right here. If they're down there, you have a moment to decide what you're going to do. That's how I would deal with it. I would close the deck off and make a new doorway in front of the house. Yeah. Yeah. With sheet ropes, though, just keep in mind, I think Jana was talking about that. Regardless of what window you use, these are all bad examples. Because I think there's a roof right here. Oh, it's not. See, this is a good example. Okay, so when I showed you this one out here, where is that? That's the closet. All right, so we talked about this. All right, so when we open this window, we don't have to open to do it, but at least I don't think so. If you do walk to, remember this is inside under the window, this is outside under the window. We have a green square. So if we jump through the window, we land on a tile and we don't fall. Even though you see that green roofing tile, you can also see the wood tile underneath it. But if we go back to this house, this roof, it also has those green tiles. But you see how it's red? If I jump through here right now, I land on the ground outside and possibly hurt myself. So this is why you always want to check. There's nowhere to step out here. So if we put a sheet rope right now, in fact, we could just do it. I think I need 2 though, right? I don't. I don't mean nails on me. Maybe you don't need it anymore. Let's grab another one. I have to make them into sheet ropes, don't I? I didn't see the roof there. Or a stairway into the connected garage. True. Yeah, there's no roof out here, just that green. This looks like a roof, but you cannot walk on this. So there's nothing here to stand on. It just looks like a, I mean, it is a roof, but physically it is not. So to make these into sheet ropes, you can right click on it, tie sheet rope. Just read it carefully so you don't accidentally rip it. Or you should be able to go into the crafting menu and the sheet rope here. We have 2 and we want to make 2. So we select tie sheet rope. We click max so that we, or you can dial through it manually. But max because we want 2 and we have 2 sheets. Click craft. She'll make both of them. I think we need 2. You used to need 2 per floor. So now we have 2 sheet ropes in our inventory. If we go to the window and right click on it, I guess I do need a nail. For some reason I was thinking somebody told me you didn't need nails anymore. Alright, so I'll have to get some nails before I can do it. It won't allow you to step onto that roof portion. So what'll happen is if I climb out this window, I'll fall to the ground. So I can climb out, but it's not going to catch me. I can put my stuff down and show you. It's not really going to hurt. Let's put the sheet rope down for later. What I was going to say with the sheet rope is, right now we're looking out the window. It looks like there's no zombies, right? Well, if there's a zombie standing right below this window on the ground, we can't see it from here. It looks like you could, but you can't. Because we can't actually see that area, so it's hidden as if it was behind a tree or something. So, I technically shouldn't do this. Well, let's put the bag down. Because we're only encumbered at 7, but I don't know what it takes to get hurt, so we're going to take a little bit of damage no matter what, but I don't want to get really injured. I'll put the tire pump down too. Alright, so now we're down to 4.5. It's not too bad. Let's see what happens. Now if I hold E, we'll climb through, or you can right click and do climb through. And remember, we climbed through the other window, we stood on the roof. But here we're going to fall to the ground. Just like that. But we weren't over encumbered, so we didn't really take damage. So you can do that to escape a building, as long as you're not heavily encumbered. If you're heavily encumbered, you can break a leg. And he says certain pieces of the roof are purely for decoration. You pass exactly. Important to note when reconstruction of roof or adding on a new story to a house structure. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people die that way. I've seen it happen time and again. I was going to say something else. Fell through the window. But yeah, if you just check with walk to, you can see where it's safe to walk and all of that. Note to self, don't jump out of the second story like we did as kids. Exactly. I mean, you can in an emergency. You can if you're not encumbered too. But what I was also going to say is there are some houses and buildings to where there'll be like an entryway, like a foyer or whatever you want to call it, to where Like, let's say this front porch was enclosed, like it had walls where these posts are. I'm trying to think if I actually saw a gun store like this. But my point is sometimes you can drop down into a room that you can't access from ground level because it's boarded up or locked or something. But if you can find a floor tile, or I should say a roof tile that's missing, it's possible to drop through. I've done it in other houses, usually at the entrances where there's like a window above the porch, and the porch is farther out than the floor tile under the outside of the window, if that makes sense. Which sure says you can fall from second story unencumbered or encumbered and live, but you will break a bone. Yeah, it's not fun. And it takes a long time to heal a broken leg. You'll never survive a 3-story fall. I wouldn't say never, Luchador. I don't know if I could find the clip, but many of us witnessed Drunk on Life. He was playing the Raven Creek mod. It was a map mod. He was on a skyscraper. It was about, I think it was 7 floors. And he was on the roof and he accidentally jumped over the side. He landed on ground level in the street, didn't take any damage. It was glorious. We still don't know how he did it, but it was just a fluke. So, is it possible to survive? It is, but very unlikely. Challenge accepted. Be right back. Don't do it. All right, so we should probably do something productive. We want to get... Show will be on soon, but see if we can get some tools. I can't remember if I checked everything in the garage. So we'll go check it real quick. May have found stuff in here too. The wrench. Screwdriver. We need one of those. Oh, I gotta get my bag upstairs too. Oh, that's something else I wanted to see. Oh, I don't have it on here. Never mind. I'm spoiled by the mod. What can I craft? It tells you what you can make. Another screwdriver. All right, what's in here? Sometimes these tool rolls, they'll have tools inside them. They're like a little bag. Flashlight. I don't think I have one of those on me either, so we'll take that. I might have one in my bag, actually. I don't remember. I check this trash. Garbage bag. There's always stuff in the garbage bags. Don't forget that. So we'll drag it to the ground. See what's inside. A rotten muffin. Since I'm thinking about it, we'll show you something else with bags in general. Let me dump all this stuff out first. Good morning, two-wheel bandits. Okay, so it used to be, once upon a time, I forgot I had this sling bag in here. This is where all my stuff is. Cool. We have nails, so we can do the escape rope. Because if you hover over it, you can see on the far right the box of nails icon. And you can see with the sling bag here. So it used to be, first of all, we click on the trunk. We're looking in the trunk. You can see the sheet sling bag. It used to be you'd have to take this bag, drag it to the ground, or equip it on your body so you could look inside of it. But in Build 42, they made it so that if a bag is inside of a trunk or a seat, you can see it in the inventory window and look inside, which I love that as an update. There's the flashlight. Um, there's the saw. So I did get those. I just couldn't remember where they were. So we'll just take this upstairs and see what we have. So basically, if I drag this empty garbage bag into the trunk, now we can access the bag inside the trunk as well. That way you don't have to take bags in and out of your trunk to look through them, which is always a pain. Like I have anything else in the car. How have you been? I've been great. Two wheel. How about yourself? Welcome in. Little girl says to Luchador, is that in Build 42 or 41? Because I've definitely survived falling from the second story in Build 41, albeit with a fractured left leg. Two wheel says I didn't definitely like you can see the bags in the trunk. Wait, I liked not didn't. Got it. Yeah, it's awesome. There's a fedora in the garbage. I hear you can get a free bowl of soup and look good at the same time. I don't think so. That's a myth. Well, since we have an annotated map, we'll look at that and talk about that too. Let's take this stuff upstairs. Set this on the counter. Well, I guess we can keep it on us. Categories. Sure. First aid I usually keep in the bathroom. Or on me, but we'll put it in here for now. These were extra rags. Safety scissors, sure. I think that's all first aid stuff. Put an extra flashlight under the kitchen sink as well. Well, it's electronics. We'll put in the electronics one. I think this was my backup bottle, but we'll place it here for now. Actually, someone was saying this earlier. They say they collect empty bottles and refill everything before the water goes out. So this empty bottle, we might as well fill it up while we have unlimited water. We'll fill up all, including our sports bottle too. And then we'll just place this here so we have extra water when it goes out. Garbage bag under the kitchen sink. Sure. Oh no. Okay, I need to keep one of the flashlights on me. Being able to access the trunk from the inside just made step vans and the business vans more valuable, absolutely. Since you can do inventory check without having to step out of your vehicle. Total safety bonus for real. Bags on bags. Learn something new every time I watch. Awesome. Glad to hear it. I actually like the ability to be able to rifle through bag contents in trunks that are accessible from the inside. Yes, very, very good point. That's me filling up bottles? Okay, I knew someone told me that. Little girl says addendum to water bottles. By the way, not all plastic bottles are equal. Those soda bottles hold 2 liters of water. The regular water bottles hold 1. Yeah, I was noticing that. So that's the trade-off. You can carry more water, but it's going to be heavier. So you have to decide which is more important to you. You still doing the rat race? Absolutely. I'm just trying to rotate this one in because I don't want the series to die, and I know it's important to some people, including me. So, um, I I've been doing the rat race a few episodes in a row, so I thought I'd play this one again. Since I'm struggling to do, I can't do 2 streams every day like I want to, so rotation is the best way for me to do it right now. But yes, I'll probably be playing rat race tomorrow. Actually, I don't know. I haven't picked a place to put tools yet. I should probably keep them in the garage though. So I'll put the comic book here. Nails can go in the garage. Let's put all this in here. No, keep that on me. I can't stop looking at these choco cakes, so we're just going to eat them. You can't open a door while you're eating food. I take that back. You can open a door while you're eating food, but it will interrupt the eating, and the item will still be the food item will still be in your main inventory. So if you're eating and you open a door, you never actually finished eating. So keep that in mind. So I'll put the extra tools in here. However, I was going to put them in here, but I'm going to show you something else that's definitely new to Build 42. I think it's cool. It takes extra time, but it can add to the flavor of your game. So I prefer the red screwdriver. So first we're going to place this blue screwdriver here. I think I showed this. Did I show this in this series? Maybe I did. Atomic Duck, Admiral says Atomic Duck was doing the skyscraper challenge and got bitten, so he jumped over the railing and survived the fall of around 8 floors. Being bitten, he tried jumping the next section and then died. Wow. That's crazy. 8 floors. Do you like the tutorial videos, Ben? It's awesome. So I know there's a mod, at least in Build 41, that'll let you use these tool racks. But if you don't have that, you can place these. If we right click on the screwdriver, Build 42 added this extended 3D placement. The screwdriver is the only thing we're looking at, so we click on that, and it opens this little XYZ axis box for the screwdriver. And these let you turn it, move it around like that. This one too, on the different axes. And then if you click here on mode, rotation is what it's currently, no, if you click on rotation, it switches to movement. Now you can move where it is in space, I believe. We won't move that one. We'll do this one. Nope. How about this one? So this one, we can bring it up in the air like this. And then we can use this one to bring it closer to the pegboard. And then we'll switch back to rotation. And then we can turn, is it this one? No. This one. So maybe I can't turn this, see. Can't figure out which, yeah, this is what I want. So you can hang it like this. So now, and then click close. And now it looks like the screwdriver is hanging on the pegboard. So if you have extra tools, just to make it look cool, you can like move them around and place them. And it takes some time, but if you're decorating your base and that makes you feel more immersed, makes you feel more like home. And you can do it with anything, not just tools, any item. It should probably unreal to fall from that high and not die. They should probably fix that. I don't know. Stranger things have happened in real life. I don't think it should be likely to happen or likely to survive, but you could. Box of nails. We'll put that on the table for now. Rubber hose. That's like the 4th item I've added to my tool list because If you need to siphon gas, you should always have that on you. Or leave it in your car, I guess. Grandma's kitchen is how to make cookies. We'll read that later. That's all I had for down here. All right. And that's, again, I don't like it because I always have to clear this. So it'd be better to have some interior stairs or something. But if you could also build, I've seen people, oh, it's time for our show. You could also build tall fences around this quad or this driveway area. Then you wouldn't have to worry about that blind staircase. You'd be safe in here. So that's another way to protect yourself, which maybe we'll do that. Oh, TV's not here anymore. Oh, we have time. Where's my other bag at? So this is the one I had on my back. Pick it up again. And then this one. Do I have a flashlight? I don't. So we'll put the flashlight in there. And our holy trinity of tools. We'll take the rubber hose as well. We need to put the magazine in the bookshelf. We already have a pillow on both beds, so we'll put one on the couch too. Yeah. We can use R to rotate this like Luchador was talking about. And we could even rotate that in 3D space if you wanted to. You can actually die just falling 4 feet, like if you just pass out. Yes, very true. But this is just a game. Well, this is the kitchen. Let's leave Grandma's kitchen recipes right here. Oh, it even says good cooking on it. I didn't know that. That's cool. It even has pictures of cookies on it. It's almost time, so I'm not going to read the map right now. I think I left all the food at that other house. Cereal. It's what's for breakfast. Hey, we're watching Woodcraft today. Let's keep the cereal on ourselves. I could fast forward through it, but do you know that's Bill Clinton's voice in the background there? Serena Morgan, welcome, welcome. With enough negative traits, you can actually die by tripping and hitting your head in PZ. Really? I hadn't heard of that. How do you know you hit your head? Do you actually get an injury on your head? Admiral says, I think the fall is a PZ joke trick on us. They give us a mulligan the first time so that we think we can do it again, but not going to happen again. That's probably true. As she says, I remember drunk hopped over a small fence and tripped and fell into a tree branch and died. I heard about that one. I didn't see it though. So we're learning carpentry today. We're at 100 out of 150 for level 2. All right. That's the end of the show. We have tools. Let's look at the annotated map here. Since we haven't gone over one of these, so some of the maps will show like a city name, and it's going to show that town. The annotated map is one that's supposed to be created by survivors in the game. So if we right click and do read map. I had an affair with Derek. I'm so sorry. Derek, what a jerk. So my guess, usually this creates an event at a location. Um, I guess this doesn't help you zoom in on the map, the big map, but I'm assuming at this house on the real map, we'll probably find an event with a couple. Probably don't have many clothes on, if any. Uh, that this annotated map generates because we readed it. We readed it. I'm tired. Because we readed it, that event will be generated. Um, and there are many, many maps like this. Some of them lead you to weapons. Some of them lead you to more zombies than should be there. Um, Cars sometimes, and other types of events like that. It was funny but pretty bummed. Yeah. Yep. So let's see if we can figure out where this is on the map. If we close this and open the regular map, scroll out and see if we can find it. Was it this one? Okay. I think that's it. So what we can do is first we'll rotate this to up and down perspective. Go back out, look at the annotated map again. So it's this house here, this upside down. It's one to the right of this, to the right and across the street from this upside down L building. So if we go back in there, this looks like it. So this is that spot right here. So if we want to mark it so that we can throw away that annotated map, we don't need it anymore. Do we not have the targeting icon? I can use something else, but I wanted to try to use the same one. I guess it's not on here, or I'm just not seeing it. Well, we'll put a broken heart because she broke her heart, or broke his heart because of Derek. And then we'll just add Derek the homewrecker. So that when we're in town, one day when we get there, uh, we'll remember we read this annotated map. We don't need this anymore because we have added it to our regular map. We can throw it away or use it to start a fire or whatever. How to find directions on the map? Yeah, I can show you that. And Brian Menard walked over some glass with no shoes and bled to death. No kidding. Oh, what a way to go. I like watching him play Zomboid though. He's really good at it. Oh, the map. Let's close those. Okay, so we'll go back to where we are. And this is why I put these on the map here. So this, if we rotate this back, click this little grid button. This is the default view of the map. Everything's at the isometric angle. But in a previous episode, I clicked this to reorient to the map up and down like you would actually read a map or in real life. And I put north, south, east, and west to show you where the compass maps are. Then when you rotate it isometrically by clicking that button again, it shows you north is actually in the top right corner of the map in isometric view and also in the world, and south is the bottom left, and of course west and east. So if we're walking around, walking towards the kitchen sink, that is north. Walking away from it, that is south. So when you're trying to describe where buildings are, the isometric view confuses a lot of people, knowing which direction you're facing. But that's how I usually explain it, using the map and rotating it like that. And I've seen some players, they'll just leave it like this because it helps them remember where the directions are. But whatever you prefer to do. Shore says, I didn't know you could do that. What button rotates the map? So it's this one here. If you look at, whoops. Closed it. These buttons at the bottom of the map. It's this fourth one with the grid shape on it. So you have options, plus, minus, which is I think zoom in and zoom out, and then it's like a little grid that rotates the map between the two. I don't know if there's a key for it on the keyboard. There might be, but I don't know what it is. I wouldn't even know what it's called to look it up in the key bindings, but there could be one on the keyboard. I think I answered everybody's question. Is it possible to craft a screwdriver? It is. I learned that yesterday, actually. I'll show you the recipe. Um, Actually, it would be nice if they had a Moodle compass or happen to find a compass if it's available. Yeah, it could help some people. That makes me crazy. So for the screwdriver, there's an improvised screwdriver, and there's a lot of options. I was glad to find it, but you can almost always find a screwdriver unless you're playing really difficult settings. But still, it's kind of cool. If you look up improvised, do I not have the recipe? Maybe. What? Oh, there it is. Improvised screwdriver. So you need an improvised whetstone. You need a rag. And then where it says steel quarter bar, you have options. You can use this a butter knife, a forged fork, a forged spoon. So basically a fork or a spoon, a butter knife, iron bar quarter, steel bar quarter, or scrap metal. You can use any of these combined with the improvised whetstone and a rag to make an improvised screwdriver, which to me is amazing, especially if you're playing like out in the wilderness and you need a screwdriver. That's a way to get it. And it looks kind of cool too. I don't know if I'll ever have to make one, but I like that we can. Wish we could move the Moodles on the screen. Yeah, I can see that could be handy. I think it's huge for Rat Race. Yes, absolutely. In fact, I don't even know if I have a screwdriver. Yeah, I do because I'm disassembling watches. But yeah, if I didn't have one, that would be amazing. All right. So next show is going to be on something Admiral Rex pointed out to me and reminded me of before. You can have more than one watch on you, obviously. You could wear one on each wrist or just carry them in your bag. So you can set different alarms. Like if you want to set one for the 6 a.m. show, the noon show, and the 6 p.m. show, so you don't have to keep setting your alarm, you could do that. I only have the one watch though, so I'm going to set this for 17:30 so we can catch the 6 p.m. show. But you could just carry around as many watches as you need alarms, if you have different things to set alarms for. We don't really need to drive around, but I guess we will to save time. The other thing I need to do is go through the last two episodes and this one as well. And I wanted to mark, like in the description, like where all the different, like creating your character, selecting a safe house, like where, so people can jump forward in the video. I didn't do that last time I did a series like this, and it made it hard to find stuff. So I'll try to do that soon. All right. I didn't set up an objective. Let's see. Well, we have tools. I was talking about prioritizing survival goals. Okay, so one of my survival goals, there's so many choices. I'd like to get some books. No bookstore, that's going to be difficult. I'd like to get ready, have everything we need to plumb a sink for when the water goes out, which means a pipe wrench. And also the ability to build water barrels or find a water barrel and pick one up and not break it. Yeah, I guess I'll just make tools a priority, see what other cool tools we can find to start building the other crafting stations and stuff like that. Have you ever been to Louisville? I have, but not very often. I've only explored a small amount of it. And usually it was in multiplayer because other people were going there. Otherwise, I don't usually go there. Hopefully we can get there at some point. I know where we'll go. We'll go to the chicken farm. Well, um, see, that's the thing. I always just want to take off, but I need to slow this down. Uh, we can check out some of Echo Creek, but we have a place to live, we have food, we have water, we have a car, we have access to gasoline for now. One of the other inconveniences is once the power goes out, not having power kind of sucks, but it depends on how you like to play. Some people are okay cooking in fires and stuff, barbecues, but I like to have power. So we don't know how to work a generator, so we need to find out how to use Generators magazine, unless I found that already, but I don't. No, there wasn't one in the bag, so I haven't found that yet. Or you need to level to electrical 3. That means you'll automatically be able to use generators. We could do it that way. And we also need a generator, which I'll show you where there is always a generator, because they can be hard to find sometimes. And if you want a sure thing, I'll show you where to go. Yeah, it says I've only been to Louisville in real life. That's awesome. It's about an hour for me. How many zombies were there? But now they've added the 2 new cities, the 2 big cities. So I don't know if I'll ever go to Louisville unless there's a very specific mission reason. The sounds of the car are attracting zombies. So we'll stop here. We'll shut off the car. So this generator right here next to this burger stand, this is a static one as far as it always spawns here. Other generators around the map, they may or may not be there, like inside of a shed. Sometimes it'll spawn there, sometimes it won't. But if you want a sure thing, this generator, you can take that one and use it for your first generator. Some people think it's too cheesy that it's always there, but I think it's important for new players to be able to get power. So until you get better at looting and finding generators, because you might have to look for a little while and check multiple buildings, and for a new player that can be intimidating, because that means killing zombies usually to clear the buildings. Generator, I barely know her. That's right. In real life, only a few. I don't know. Today's people are kind of zombies, if you ask me. Well, let's clear out this riffraff. We gotta fight a few. I think we've talked a little bit about combat. So we saw 3, right? Yeah, 3. Things to take into consideration before you get into a fight. Do you have the proper weapons? We have a wrench and no skills, but that's okay. Short blunt's a pretty good weapon, and it's a strong weapon. It's not going to break right away. Plus, we have 2 backup weapons, so 3 zombies should really be no problem. Also, when you start fighting, the sound of it can attract other zombies. There can be some in this house. There can be some further to the south in this field. So I guess you'd call it situational awareness. Don't just think about the zombies that are in front of you. Think about the zombies that you don't see or may not see, because they'll come up behind you and surprise you. Rural USA be like that? Ain't that the truth, Audrey? Welcome in. I've been to Kentucky. It's close. No actual zombies with plenty of fentanyl addicts. Oh, wow. Scary. Wonder why some people die from that. Other people just can use it. I like how he's breaking down the combat prior to attacking. Oh, good. That's why I do it. The reason I do that is because, yeah, I can just run up and kill these guys, but just seeing people on Reddit that are just like, they see 3 zombies and they freeze up. Like, they think they can't handle it, which if they just, because you can pause it too if you're playing as new players, think, okay, what am I going to do here? And I don't have to fight these, but I want to because they're close to the safe house. Really, they'll get over there eventually. But yeah, I'm just trying to break it down so that people that haven't learned how to fight them yet realize it's just a matter of coming up with a plan. Even though the plan didn't change, starting with one gives you, a good basis for strategy or tactics, whatever. And we can walk around until we figure out what we want to do. But these are pretty straightforward as far as there's just 3 of them. So there's a 4th one over here in the corner. So that's what I'm saying. That guy will probably hear us when we start fighting and come over. That guy's stumbling over fences over there. So let's fight and see if that 4th guy joins the battle. Let me stop here for a second too. All right. They were almost shoulder to shoulder, which is why I was pulling away. Because when they're right next to each other side by side, you might hit one and then the other one can come in and bite you while you're in the animation of hitting the first one. So I always try to get them to spread out a little bit before you engage them. Again, that's my rule of thumb because you'll watch other streamers that are much better at fighting zombies than I am. And they'll just keep smacking them regardless of how close they are to each other. You could do it if you're really good at it and time it right, but it's risky for me, so I try to spread them out first. Keen hearing can help with detecting the zombies behind you, says Serena. Absolutely. Keen hearing's probably my favorite trait out of all of them, to be honest. It pretty much gives you eyes in the back of your head. It feels a little different in build 42 than it did in 41, but it's still much better to have it than not to have it. Little girl, meanwhile, in multiplayer, people are ecstatic when seeing a blob of 50 plus more coming in from the trees. You mean because they can fight them better in 41, little girl? When fighting multiple zombies, push. Oh, I see what you're saying. And Serena says, when fighting multiple zombies, push first, then swing. Don't swing, then push. Now, see, that's where I would disagree with you. I think both work, though, but I do it the other way. I swing and then push. I'll show you why. I'm not saying you're wrong, because I've seen plenty of other players do what you're saying, and you're right. It's just 2 different ways to do it. Luchador says hot spots. Okay, so can I show it with these guys? Because usually I'll swing to stun them and then I'll push to knock them down. Is why I do it like this. I can't do it because that other guy's too close. We'll just hit this one. There we go. So hit and then push like that. It doesn't always work, but the stun makes it so you can get close to them without being in danger. But both are effective in their own way for sure. Two Wheel says, do you have any advice to horde control? And Viraj says, I like this series so much. Awesome. Glad you do. For horde control, I'm actually still trying to get a better handle on that. Because it's a lot different in 42 than it was in 41. It was really easy to ball them up and get them to go where you wanted them to go. But because of the varying speeds of the zombies now, what'll happen is, let's say you get 10 of them into a group and you start leading them away. 3 of them might stop moving and this other 7 keep following you, and then another one falls out. They slowly lose interest and spread out again. So it's a lot more like herding cats in Build 42. So as far as horde control, I think using sound is really going to be it's dangerous, but shouting at them to keep their attention probably helps a lot. Or keeping it really tight when you're trying to lure them away. Like, I know this is just one, but if it was a horde, I would like walk back and forth like serpentine so I stay close to them, still being out of reach. But that way you could you keep them grouped up because you're close to all of them, and you might have to do circles, but it's a lot harder to keep them going where you want them to go. It's not impossible, but it's a lot harder than it used to be. And when you say horde control, I want to make sure I understand what you mean. Like, horde control is in moving them around or something else? Hordes are a lot harder to manage in 42, yeah. Best horde control is to run. The bad thing is I got exam from the 25th. You mean you have an exam coming up? Two Wheel says yes, but like to set up to clear an area that is overtaken by a lot, but you want to at least clear a pack first before. Okay, I think I know what you mean. I have some suggestions for that. Little girl's already touching on it. Break line of sight. Use the environment like trees or walls and buildings. Slow down your pursuers by using low fences. Yeah, absolutely. Hordes are a lot harder. Is there any way to sound bait them with an alarm? See what little girl says. Also unique to Build 42 is that you can break line of sight by crouching behind furniture and some solid low fences. I've never tried using the alarms, really. I don't see why you couldn't do it, but I just don't know how many tiles they go is the problem. I always thought if you had like a string of them, like one every few tiles, maybe. And then do the alarms still attract them when they're like you're out of the area? I don't know. Serena says, I often carry extra alarm clocks or watches with me, set an alarm to draw them off. So you might know more about it than I do then. Stand on your friends. That's right, SG. Yes, horde control, like moving them around. You can also turn a TV or radio on really loud. Yeah. One of my favorites is to turn an ambulance or police siren on and run. Yeah. I guess if you're going to do the siren thing or even the alarm thing, just think before you do it to where, do you ever want to come back to that area and do you need to access that area? Because if you do, you'll have to deal with the zombies later. Yeah, TV or radio works too. And they have a volume control, so it's good. I don't think I cleared these guys yet. Let's create a horde and we'll see what I can do. Let's see. We'll drive over here and honk the horn or something. Is that my car? Am I confused? Did I walk down here? There's my car. All right. Dude, where's your car, dude? There are many zombies here. It might be hard to find a horde. We could go over to the guns shop, I guess. What time is it? 1:54? I don't know. Maybe I should do that in a different episode. I hear a zombie. Little girl says walkie-talkies. I heard about that. Also work. Tune both into the same frequency. Place down one. Hold the other. Walk away. press Q while holding the other walkie-talkie. Your yell will transmit to the other walkie-talkie. Oval Farms, that's a good idea. We could try there. Heard a zombie. Where's he at? I guess that other one didn't hear us from over there. Maybe that's him. There might be a zombie inside that shop there. Let's clear this guy out real quick. It's just whenever I see one and it's an area I know I'm going to come back to, I don't want to be killed by one I didn't kill earlier, so we're going to get rid of him. Thought I heard one over here too. There's probably fresh burgers in this. Oh, there he is. I knew I heard one. Okay, so this is good because that door might be locked, might not be, but because this was open, we could see that they're in there. If we had a gun, we could just pop them. It's back at the house, but I imagine if we yelled at him now because he can't. Can he climb through here? I bet he could. Let's try to get him out of here. Siren is also useful, or always useful. However, I find that one best when doing burns, and I haven't done a lot of burns. I've done a few in my time. Spongy's works without Fluffy. Oh, what? Engineer has some fun tools too, like smoke bombs and stuff. Yeah, and pipe bombs. Raj, guys, does the Spongy's hair mod work without Fluffy's hair? I don't know. It's even better when the alarm explodes. Make sure to crank up the volume of the placed walkie-talkie. That's cool. I've always thought that was a thing, but I never tried it. SG says Menard used the siren in the ambulance and it brought a lot of zombies as he ran away. It does work, but pointed out you'll have to. Yeah, exactly. If you're going to do the alarm thing, just make sure you do it somewhere you're not going back to for sure. Serena says Spongy's works without Fluffy. Siren is always useful. All right, so make sure there's no other zombies to mess with here. If they hear us, they're going to start banging on that probably or come out the window. All right, so if you're trying to get the attention of a zombie, you can crouch down and press Q or whatever your yell button is, and you'll whisper. Sometimes that'll get their attention. It didn't work in this case. You might be able to hit. Let's close this to stand up. I was afraid they're going to come up behind me. There's a door here, like a shutter. So we'll close this. Open it again. We got a jump scare. Can I keep doing that? No, just the one time. Okay. Alright, so we'll close it. Let's hit it once. Maybe. Oh. That's right, I can't do it with this weapon. I could just shout, I suppose. But it'd be much better to clear without opening the door, but I guess we could do that too. Rajbeal, I'm talking about mods. Yeah. I've never really played with those, only on servers, but I love the hair mods. They're cool. Surprised he didn't notice the window closing and opening. I know, it's so loud. How are you talking to the Zed? I never did that before. So, you know how you can press Q to shout? It's Q by default. Some people remap it. Mine's actually backspace key because I want it far away from my controls. But if you like, I'll just do it. I don't like shouting, but if you press the regular shout key like this,
Hey!
If you're crouched and press it, you whisper instead. So basically, you're whispering instead of shouting. I don't know how far that'll travel, but we don't have too many zombies in the area, so we should be fine. And it's locked anyway. What do you got? Wonder how many it's going to bring. Nice screwdriver. I don't really want it though. I think I left it at default settings, so there's probably not too many zombies around here. We'll go to Ovo Farms. Yeah, see, that guy didn't even hear me up by the trailer there. Q noise radius is around 30 tiles. As loud as the M36 revolver. Okay, cool. See if I can commit that to memory. That would be great. Better you play without mods? I would say if you're a new player, yes. But always, always, always remember, no matter what, play the way that makes you happy. So if you're happier with mods, just play that way. The only reason I say to start without mods is so you learn the base game with less confusion, because sometimes mods can cause problems, and dealing with extra problems when you're learning the game can be problematic. But I would never tell anybody how to play. If you want to play day one with as many mods as you can load, if that's what's fun for you, then definitely do it. The other reason I play with no mods when I'm doing these tutorials is because I will, if I make a mod list, it'll never be what everybody watching wants to play. So I try to keep it simple. Yeah, I use only the hair mod, daily general mod, and finished resting mod. Without mods, it's best to learn the system first. I think so too. Then use mods to tailor the experience for yourself, or use it to fix the eccentricities of the game that bother you. For example, there's one mod that I really love because this crafting menu, it's good, but for me, it's not intuitive. So I struggle to find things. But there's a mod called, I think it's called What Can I Craft? And the way it works is if you right click on, like, I don't know, the belt. I'm not right click, but yeah, right click. There'll be an option, what can I craft at the bottom. And when you click on it, it automatically takes you to the crafting menu and shows you everything you can make out of that item. Now, alternatively, you could go in here and click it, type in belt, and then instead of recipe name, change this to required items, I think. And then it shows you everything you can make with a belt. But the how can I craft is just easier. Or what can I craft is just easier in my opinion. So that's a mod that I would probably install for myself. That's just one of a few. How can I craft mod? Yeah, how can I craft mod? Yeah. Two Wheel Bandits, I play without mods for performance. That's a good point. As I learned, of course, attempting the rat race, so you can't use mods. Yeah, exactly. I really hope Craft Helper Build 41 gets updated for the new build. It would save a ton of headaches. Yeah, I agree. Can you show the different views in the crafting menus? I think so. My only issue with the What Can I Craft mod is that it doesn't show you anything if you don't know the recipe. Really? I didn't notice that. The different views of the crafting menu. I'm not sure what you mean. If you mean this is crafting items and then this one is crafting buildings, but I don't think that's what you're saying. Elaborate, I'll see what I can do. Let's go to Ovo Farms, which is over here. There's the mechanic shop. And the only reason I know where this is because I built an elaborate base here at one point. Well, established an elaborate base. A lot of animals. The box filters to the right of the recipe name. Any firebombing in this version? Welcome, some guy. Welcome back. I'm not sure. I think you can use Molotovs. But Milk Toast Claire pointed out something important. Rain doesn't put out fires yet in build 42. So if you set a bunch of stuff on fire, just remember it's going to keep burning. I guess maybe fire extinguishers work, but I don't know. So be ready to lose a lot of stuff if the fire keeps spreading. The crafting menu. So I think I think Two Wheels talking about this. So let's say we're going to craft vine spearhead with duct tape. So it's showing you what you need here. Screwdriver, long stick, and duct tape. But these boxes here, like this one here, the dials here, or not dials, like sliders, you click that. It shows you possible ingredients. You drop this down. So it's saying instead of a screwdriver, you could use any of these options. Broken glass, fighting knife, hand fork. So when you're going into a recipe and you click on this again to make it go away, just because it says you need a screwdriver doesn't always mean you need a screwdriver. That's just what it's showing me because I have it in my pocket. It's like, hey, you can build it with this. You already have it. Time to start a forest fire. Those box icons right at the top. These here. Oh, I've never even used these. What does this do? First one with 4 squares. Recipe name with the arrow. Yeah, okay. If I click on this one. Oh, wow. And this is why I have you guys here, so I can learn new stuff. So this is the default, is the list on the right. Actually, this is cooler. How does this work? That's easier to see, but it doesn't give you a name. So all right, dismantle on the list looks like this. Dismantle, and does it tell me the name of the view? So I guess it just depends on if you just want the graphic representation or the list view. Does that sound right? Glad I caught a stream. Helps that I'm 3 hours behind this week. Hey Frank, welcome back. Glad to see you here. Different pages. So I guess if you know exactly what the item looks like, this would be great. But if you don't, you're going to want the names. So I guess it would just depend on preference. This looks cleaner though. I like the look of it. I just don't know if I know enough of these. Like, what is this? Macaroni or copper scrap? That's macaroni. Hmm. So my question is, what does favorites look like? So I would like this view best for favorites. Because if it's a favorite, you already know what it looks like. And it holds a lot of pictures. So if I was in all or one of the categories, I would probably choose the list view. But if I was in favorites, I'd probably choose that view. Because when you go to favorites and list view, oh, we got a few here. Yeah, we'll do this one. And to set a favorite, you highlight the one, you click the one you want and go over here to the star. Click it right next to the item here. Now, if we go to favorites, that's in your favorites list. But it just seems like this would get filled up really quickly. But if we had this view, you could see a lot more items. It's easier to select them too, I think. Anyway, thank you for that. I didn't even know that was a thing. You kind of like that view? Yeah. We're already getting sleepy. That's not good. So in this example, we're talking about how to move hordes away from an area. So let's say we want to get this chicken farm. This is Ovo Farms, and we want chickens. But maybe we don't want to fight all the zombies. This one will be a little tough because it's enclosed, but we can try. See if we can pull them away so we don't have to fight as many. This will probably be easier on foot. Okay, so we'll learn something else right now. So we're in the car. So I can't use aiming to look over there, see what's there. But what you can do, make sure it's clear over here by your door. No one's coming. You press the V key to get the radial menu, and you can roll your window down by clicking open window. Your window turns dark because it's down. Now you can use the aiming key, hold down the right mouse button, and you can look over here. Just like you would if you were standing outside the car. You can do that while you're driving too. It's dangerous because you may not see your car, but that way you can scope out areas from the relative safety of your vehicle, as long as there's not a zombie that can walk up to your door. So there's only a few here. Well, so we can do this a couple ways. We're already kind of getting their attention, and always remember to roll your window back up so you don't get chomped on. W tutorial stream. What do you mean? I missed something or forgot something. We could honk the horn to try to draw them out here. We could shout to try to draw them out here. We could walk in and lure them out, or a combination of any of those. The only problem is some of them are inside the buildings, like the house. They're just going to start breaking stuff. But at least we'll only have to fight those if we can lure these other guys out. So let's try it. We'll start with honking. Problem is we're going to get some from the field too. So we got a few there. Let's see if we can round them up. I forgot they're going to go for the car instead of me. There we go. Alright, so right now they're kind of in a line. They can be really hard to manage. So let's see if we can group them up a little better. Just double back. And you can outwalk them, so don't have to worry too much. The only problem is this choke point in the fence, really. So you kind of try to get close to all of them if you can. If you have to run a little bit, you can. You just don't want to get too exerted running around. But see how I'm kind of keeping it tight and staying close with them and not just like drawing them out into a line, because we don't want to do that if we're rounding them up. And if there's not enough room between you and this fence, you can always go this way. See how they're already spreading out? That's what's annoying about Build 42. But it's annoying in a good way. It's kind of how it really should be. We'll try to get them in a tight group. And then you can do the serpentine thing to try to keep them all interested. It's a little sketchy, but it can work. And then we'll pull them out here. And you want to keep that line of sight if you can. See, we're already losing one in the back. So he's going to be a straggler now. And this is why it's hard to hoard them or group them up. But we basically just lead them away, and then like Little Grove was saying, break line of sight. Now see, the tree's probably going to hold one of them. See, there's 6 there. And I could keep shouting too, but then we would attract even more. Try to regroup them a little bit. But the important thing to note here is overall, we're not in any danger, even though there's, a handful of zombies that can be a threat if you're not careful. Day 26, welcome back. You can use the zoom key alternatively, functions kind of like aim, but character vision doesn't follow the cursor. You mean zooming in and out on the screen? I can kind of see what you mean, I think. Two Wheels says that just means it's a good stream. W as in win something. Oh, gotcha. Well, now I learned that too. Thank you for that. And thank you for the kind words. Penny, are you saying zombies aren't like backup dancers in a musical performing the same routines together? Exactly. It's like herding. Yeah, it's kind of tough. Now we need sheepdogs or zombie dogs. So at this point, how would you lose them to get back to the spot you wanted without attacking? All right, we'll do that next. Mr. DJ Longhair. Hello, hello. Day 26. It's a separate key. Check the keybinds. Okay, and it's called Zoom key. I'll have to look that up. I've never heard of that. Thank you for the tip. Default is control. Okay. If it's right control, I don't think I've ever used that, so mine's probably still default. Okay, so probably the easiest way to lose these guys would be in like the woods. But they're already spreading out. We got 3 back there now as stragglers. But even at this point, they're over here by the side of the road. How far away are we? We're pretty far away. So what you can do is hit C to crouch and just cross the road. Now what I was taught, at least for build 42, is they will follow you to the last place they see and hear you. Of course, we're getting back to the building, so I don't want to go there. Got 4 of them on us. The other thing is we don't want to run into more zombies, so we have to be careful where we go. Of course, there's nothing over here to hide behind. That's okay. We'll bring them back to the other side. What's up, Freddy Krueger? But for the most part, we can probably just run away from these guys because we're far enough away. And we just have to deal with the 2 or 3 stragglers that were left behind. The problem is we just don't have a lot of trees here. So what I'll do is we'll try this. We'll crouch and run. Oh, I got this guy here too. Excuse me, coming through. This bunch of trees will probably help. But we're trying to get the trees between them and us. We're sneaking past. Oh, he heard us. But the point is we had, what, 6 on us, and now we have 1, maybe 2. But we're putting these trees between them and us. If we stop on this side of the tree, in this sneaking position, break line of sight, they'll probably go there. Now if we get over here, We'll look back and see what we can see. But it looks like none of them followed us because they lost sight and sound of us. Maybe that guy in the blue shirt's still following us. No, he's just looking around. So that's 6 or 8. I forget how many it was. We effectively shook them. Now, if we wanted to get back into the compound, we could crouch down and go along this fence line, or we could even jump over the fence. You'd rather do it that way, which is probably the best because there's no zombies over here. Another early detection is you look over here, none of the chickens are running around. If there were zombies near them, they would be running like crazy. So you know it's relatively calm in there. Think you lost them and made it back without attacking? Yeah. And Mr. DJ Longhair just finished some channel work. So can chill a sec. I don't think I have a sub to you yet. So get your name because I'm always adding people to my sub list for BZ. Welcome in. So at this point, I'd probably hop the fence, see what else is in there. But I think we're clear. Say hi to the chickens. The baby chicks run around, but just for its mama. But if we start seeing chickens running, that's when we know there's a problem. We can even get some eggs to eat later. There's probably some in here. To interact with the chicken hutch, you right click on it, go to hutch info. There's one egg in there. To grab the eggs, you right click on it, do grab eggs. I'm about to miss my TV, I think. Mr. DJ Longhair, I haven't streamed PZ in a while, but did finish RoboCop. Wow. That is a cool throwback. I don't think I've ever played that. Rogue City. Serena says, just keep an eye on your alarm. Yeah, you're right. I was just noticing that. I have 10 minutes. It's going to go off. Could mess up the whole stealth thing. Yeah. Very good point. I should probably turn the alarm off and see if I can get inside the house and find a TV. So this is default settings. I'm used to there being many more zombies here, so this is kind of nice. None of the chickens are running. So there's a zombie right there. Now we kind of want to see that chicken's taking a break, or making a break for it. So let's take him out. So that was just one we had to kill. Don't see any others. Oh, there's one over there. So you kind of you want to get him in before he makes the chickens all upset, if you can. I hate killing them inside the chicken pens because actually I don't know if the corpses bother them or not. I think they do though. So we're going to try to get him to come out here. Kill him out here instead of inside. I think he sees us, maybe not. Now see, if I open this gate right now, the chickens would take off. We don't want that. Let's see if I can get him to follow me over here. There's a second one. And something to note, my character's drowsy. It's not a good idea to fight when you're drowsy. What do you lose, little girl? Is it like 10%? damage, or is it higher than that from being drowsy? We're going to miss our show, though. %10 for every level of drowsiness. So right now we're only at 90% damage effectiveness. And as we get tired, we're going to gain 10% for each level. So it's not good to fight tired. Which is why I'm not getting these one-hit kills, or at least part of the reason. It's probably too late to get to a TV, but we'll try. I should probably be a little more stealthy, but I want to go watch TV. Yeah, we got a few here. So another way to lose them, we'll do that here. We missed TV, it's okay. There's 4 levels. Oh, okay. It's also additive with your exhaustion. We're getting a little damp from the rain as well. So we'll try to do it with this red warehouse building down here. But you can use buildings to separate them as well. Okay, so we have a few here. This will work. Got 4. If I get this guy more interested. Right. Come on, stay with the group. Stay with the tour. Come on, man. Alright, so we're going to get them on the other side of this red building, and we're going to try to peel them off on the windows. Because zombies are attracted to windows and doors. If I can get them over here. Guess we just have one window and door over there, so this might not work too well. I guess technically we could use all these doors to try this. This is assuming you're okay with them destroying the windows and doors as well. Let's jump over here. See, you can hear them banging on the garage doors already. So they're probably busy on those doors. Let's go around the other way. Now I'm exerted, so I might not even be able to get over the wall. Well, we can go in the front door again. Let's do that. I don't recommend walking around with all these moodles, but this is for demonstration purposes only. Oh, there's the guys we lost earlier. We don't want to pick them up again. Let's go the other way. Fighting while drowsy also increases the rate at which you get drowsy. Does it? Oh, that makes sense. You go in stealth? Yeah, didn't you want me to try that? Yeah, we were talking about that. We're trying to stealth it, just for demonstration. So from the looks, if it's a small pack, circle them a few times and then the herding. Yes. And you can do it with a larger group. It just takes a little longer because they keep splintering off. You might be able to keep their attention by shouting. It's just you're going to pull more in from every direction the farther out you go. But it's possible. It's just slow, so... Let me get this guy out here. I would just try to jump the fence. Does he not see me? Okay. Now, being so tired, just trying to smack him isn't really gonna do it. Gotta try to knock him down if we can. There we go. I would rest, but because we're so tired, I don't think we'll get our exertion back. Larger groups, Serena says larger groups, it's easier to do the same thing with a vehicle. I agree with that, yeah. Drive around, bunch them up, then lead them away. Yep, cars could help for sure. Could try to go through a window, I suppose. See, they've already broken through and they're inside. So don't do it if you don't want to damage the doors, but if you don't care about it, it's okay. Now here, something to take note of. I want to go through this window. But these shelves here means a zombie can't be standing there. But I don't know what's on this side. So there could be a zombie right there. We just don't know. I'll try to climb over this. I don't know if we can, though. Oh, good. All right, so we'll crouch down. You can hear them still banging on the door. Once they get through those doors, they should go inside, or they might wander off or look our direction. But the important thing is it got them away from us. Guard zombies are pretty great, too. Vaco's back. I think dead zombies are the best zombies. I agree. He was just asking me if you didn't want to fight, how would you do it? But yes, if you can kill them, that's always best. But sometimes you're in a hurry. So I want to sneak past, but we have this corner up here, and I want to make sure I don't attract any, so we'll move a little bit away. Now see, they're busy over there. Now we can go do what we want. Of course, there's still a danger. Eventually they're going to get through that door, and there's two that already got inside, it looks like. It looks like there's some at the house already. They're trying to get in. It's too late for TV, probably, but... so you can lead them away and lose line of sight. You can peel them off on doors and windows. Trying to think what else. Or just try to sneak past them in some cases. The reason sneaking past them and the like is risky is because you lose track of where everybody is because they move around out of sight. So you really have to watch your back. I probably don't want them to break that door, though. So I'm going to lure them away. One in the woodshed. So this is a little risky with the moodles that we have. Now let's just take them out the front gate. Why not? We'll get their friends over here. Come on, stay with the group. What you can also do, we'll do it this way too. Oh. That whole group's going to end up back inside if I don't move them. That peel off on doors is a good tip. Never tried that. Yeah, it works. The only reason I avoid it sometimes is if I don't want the building destroyed. But if you don't care about the building, it works awesome. The more doors and windows, the better. Like a field trip, single file, yeah. The ones that were over there, well, it looks like they're not coming. But basically, we can lead these until they're already splitting off. I was gonna say lead them all the way down here and then hop back over the fence, and then they'll be so far away they won't come back around the fence. But they're spreading out too much. Oh, there's a couple over here, so that's a problem. See if I can jump right here. I was trying to jump the fence. All right, now we're getting risky business here. All right, so this is the situation you never want to be in. We have high exertion, can barely jog or swing a weapon, and we're tired, and we're panicked. So we're probably going to be doing the effect of hitting them with a Nerf bat at this point. Maybe not even that much damage. So if we fight now, we're probably going to die. So this is where we need to walk away and regroup. So our car's too far, and I think has zombies around it. So we're going to have to walk back to the gas station. Matthew Penny, also, I do not see any pillows. That's right. So a lot of times people will make the mistake when they have moodles like this to keep trying to fight, and that's when you get killed. So this is when we walk away. It'll suck having to come back and get our car on foot, but it's better than them getting the best of us because we're worn out. Where's my cereal at? At least we'll get rid of one Moodle. I don't even think I have an extra water bottle on me. Should always carry two, but I think I failed that this time. Yeah, so we're only slightly thirsty. We'll be fine. But see, you can pretty much just outwalk them. As long as you're not limping or whatever. So we'll go home and sleep. Maybe we'll steal another car. And we can come back out here. We'll try to go a little faster with the walk 2 here. And this is walk 2 with what is it? 2 fast forward or whatever. Using the F4 key. So we're not actually running. This looks like it. The hell was that? Alright, we picked up a friend. He'll probably follow us back, so we're going to have to deal with him. Okay, so here's the situation. We are high exertion, very tired and thirsty. If we take him toe-to-toe, it's probably going to take a while to push him down. So this is where little girl's talking about using your environment to your advantage. This is a little bit of fence cheese. If no other zombies show up, I'm going to try to get him to come over here, fall over this concrete wall, and stomp his head on the other side. It's going to take us a while to kill him, but at least he'll already be down. We won't have to push him down. Because we lead him back to the house. Because that's another problem. Some players will try to run back to their base and close the curtains and think they're okay. But if a zombie saw you go into the house, he's going to come and break your door down. So we really need to deal with him before we go home, because he's probably going to follow us all the way back. Because there's nothing blocking his line of sight. Maybe this building, we can probably peel him off on there. But maybe we want that building, you know. So we'll go over here. Make sure it's relatively clear. I don't see any more zombies. No obvious ones anyway. But if we're on this side, he should stumble across that. We walk over. Keep him on the ground. Stomp his head. Now he's a crawler. I wanted to turn so I was facing the other way, but there he is, dead on the ground. That would have been much harder to fight him hand to hand. I don't know what this key goes to, but we'll take it. And now we should be safe to go home. One 141 viewers. Did we get another redirect, or are those still? 282's folks coming in. Welcome in, everyone. Do you have any ice cream? We've earned it. I was going to start eating it, but then I couldn't open the door. What's our weight at? Oh, we're dropping. We can eat it. Ice cream. Oh, yeah. So good. Hopefully we're not gaining weight now. Oh, gosh, we are. Well, we're fine. We're only at 79. I need water, though. This is a bathroom, I think. Why am I not seeing the bathroom sink? Grab extended tile room cologne. Fine, I'll drink out of the toilet. I don't care. Why? Low toilet. There we go. Toilet water just as good. That's right. I've had the same problem with some sinks. Yeah. I was trying to explain that in one of the previous episodes. Usually you can like make sure you're on the tile below the sink and right click, and that should do it, but I don't see it this time. There. No. Weird. What else is on the ground here? Antibiotics. You're very exerted. Hopefully there's no zombies outside this door. The zombies on the ground looked weird for a second. I was like, what the hell is that? It's early, but she is pretty beat, so we should probably just go to bed. We get cleaned up. Maybe I guess we could rest a little bit. Maybe eat some more food. All right, put the wrench away. Put the egg in the fridge for the morning. Yeah, I didn't bring all the food here. We're not hungry, I guess. Yeah, we'll go to bed now. It feels like she might sleep longer. The light coming from the closet? That's cool. Not that you need darkness to sleep. It's just an immersion thing for me. Toilet minestrone. Alarm. Comfort good with pillow just for you, Penny. Hopefully she got enough sleep. Where's the window? There it is. I should probably close this. You're welcome. Well, we don't have any cooking pans or anything, but we can just cook the egg and eat it, I guess. We need to go to the grocery store. It's not much food. We'll have to eat some chips too. What are we learning today? The cooking show. Yay. See if we get level 2 maybe. I grab it too fast. There we go. And you'll notice, I should have pointed out earlier, that when the egg was raw, it gave you 7 hunger points. When it's cooked, it gives you 9. There's cooking level 2. But plus, if you eat it raw, it was dangerous, but cooked, you can eat it. But it gives you more hunger points if you eat it cooked also. So let's see. I'm probably going to stop at 3 hours. So we have a little bit of time to mess around. I think what we should do, we do need a little bit of food. Trying to remember where I put didn't I get a bunch of produce? I guess I put it in the trailer. Does that make sense? I'll go back there. I don't remember where I put all that food at. Red Raider, welcome in. Glad to see you here. I wonder if I left my car running. Probably. POM, remembering where you put things in this game is always a challenge. Definitely for me. 164 viewers, I know. They just show up. I don't... Unless they all were slowly rolling in from Tone 82. Could be that as well. Let's see if we can grab another car. I'm already tired of walking. That's one thing I miss in my rat race run is having a car. Walking sucks. Because we're a burglar. Any guess? Guess not. Empty gas can. Let's go get some gas real quick. I'll try this one too. Although this one was locked, wasn't it? Yeah, let's just get some gas. It's right here. Thing is, what I've noticed in Zomboid is that it's quite easy to delineate where is the early, mid, and late game. Yeah. And as far as getting the fuel, actually, maybe they fixed it. It used to be tough to right click and get the right spot, but I always had to make it happen to click in the red square, but it looks like anywhere works now. So that's good. They made the hitbox for getting gas better. Those algorithms are putting in work. Welcome in, Curtis. Mid-game equals duffel hiking, large backpack. At least 3 level 3 and 2 skills. Another thing, if we get in the car here, you can look at the gas gauge and it shows you the little arrow. It tells you that it's on the driver's side. But if you don't want to go check that, you can just stand at the front. Well, anywhere really. Stand facing the vehicle, press V, do add gas, and she'll automatically walk to where the gas door is. So if you don't want to double check where it is, that's the easiest way to do it. Late game is car generator access at least one skill level 5. Huh. The advantage of being a burglar. That's why it's powerful to me, at least as a new player. I played burglar for hundreds of hours before I played anything else. Maybe we'll go over engine quality and stuff next time. What I was going to show you with the car doors before, but we had a coupe. When we're standing at this one, you see how this tiny rectangle points to the back of the car? And here, the tiny rectangle points to the front. That's to show you the difference between back door and front door. Maybe this is obvious to everyone else. It wasn't obvious to me. So when I figured that out, because sometimes you're walking up to the car and you're like, which door am I at? You're standing between the two, but it's the square that tells you which door you are. So if you wanted to get in the front seat, you take another step forward. But that's what that little rectangle's for. And on modded vehicles, you'll see that too. But sometimes the shapes are different based on like the size of the vehicle and stuff. Can we turn this into a water container? Just a barrel. Curtis says, I was today years old when I learned that. Oh, awesome. We'll have to rescue our vehicle next episode. I'm actually going to write that on the map because I'll probably forget. We'll do like future mission or whatever. Let's put a star rescue. We'll call it the Ovo car since that's where we left it. And the way I'm doing this to relocate the text is you just hold the left mouse button down and drag, and it rotates or moves the text around the screen. When it's where you want it, click OK, and that's where it puts it. Serena says, I've been playing PZ since it released, and I'm still learning new things every day. Wow. You're one of the originals. That's awesome. I wish I had found this game sooner, but I'm glad I found it when I did. Well, let's see, since I need to go to bed, IRL. Let's see who is streaming Project Zomboid live for all you fine people. Somebody's got to be playing. Wolfgar is always playing right now. And that looks like it. Hope y'all are okay with Wolfgar. He's playing. Can a veteran actually win something? Can a veteran actually win in Project Zomboid? Of course. But I guess Wolfgar will be the judge of that. Good game, says Vaco, and thank you for the stream. You're very welcome, sir. Thank you for being here and helping out. Lots of good tips. Good game. Take care. You as well. You're welcome, SG. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by to check out the stream. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to hang out with us in the chat. Thank you for all the likes and all the laughs. We have 29 likes today. You guys are killing it. Apologies to Jacksepticeye. We ran out of time today. Be sure to get him on the stream soon. Until next time, safe journey. Keep on keeping on and keep on surviving. Enjoy the rest of whatever you have left day or night. And thanks again for the redirect, Tone 82. And thank you, everyone in the chat, for helping with tips and suggestions and participating in the learning process. Good game, says Two Wheel. Thank you, thank you. Guys says, I have a good sleep. I mean, you do. I will try. I usually sleep pretty well after hanging out with all you. So I will be redirecting you to Project Zomboid with Wolfgar 46 in 3, 2, 1. Bye. Love you. Bye.